Give me attention. Oh, okay. She's trying to climb up. Oh, nope, she failed. Okay. Oh no. What are you doing?
Never heard the stories, never saw what happened. But the first time they walked through the door, your dog wouldn't go near them, sat in the corner, watched them the whole
What
time.
in the world?
You thought it was strange.
Hold on.
People have been saying it for centuries. Animals just know. They can sense something in a person that we can't put into words. And for most of history, we wrote that off as folk wisdom. Something grandmothers say. Something you feel but can't prove. Turns out, science has been quietly proving it for decades. And the
W.
answer is more unsettling than most people are ready for. Let's
Unsettling?
start with dogs. In 2017, researchers at Kyoto University ran a simple experiment. A dog watched its owner struggle to open a container and then asked two strangers for help. In one version, the stranger helped. In another, the stranger turned away and refused. Then both strangers offered the dog a treat. The dogs who watched someone refuse to help their owner ignored that person's
I
treat
love
almost
that.
entirely. They just completely opted out. Then they chose the helpful stranger's treat instead.
I love
Every
that.
time, to a smell or a sound, they were making a social judgment. They watched an interaction, processed who behaved badly, and updated their behavior accordingly. A follow-up study published in Neuroscience and Biobehavioral Reviews confirmed it. Dogs actively avoid people who are unkind to their owners. They're loyal, unwavering. They're evaluating. They're building a picture of who you are based on how you treat the people around you.
I
It
love
could be
this.
argued that it's something close to moral reasoning. But
The
dogs
cat
have
wants
spent
attention too.
15,000 years living alongside humans. You could argue they've just learned to read us. So what about animals that haven't? Horses have been studied extensively on this.
Why
And
is
what they
the
show
horse?
is horses respond to human heart rate. When a person approaches with an elevated heart rate, the horse's own heart rate rises in response. They're
Wow.
not reading
What
your
are you
face.
doing?
They're reading your body's electrical
What
output
the
through the
world?
air between you. More than that, horses remember faces. A study out of the University of Sussex showed horses could recognize photographs of people who had treated them harshly, even months after the encounter.
Yes.
When shown that person's photo, their heart rate went up.
I have to get the
They
cat.
turned their head to look at the threat with their left eye, which is connected to the right hemisphere, the side of the brain that processes danger. The horse didn't forget, and it didn't forgive. Now here's where it gets strange, because this isn't just mammals. Crows hold grudges. Documented, studied, multi-generational grudges. Jackdaws do something that requires no direct experience at all. Researchers at the University of Exeter published a study in 2019 where they sent an unfamiliar person to approach jackdaw nests in Cornwall. While the person approached, scientists played recordings through hidden speakers, either alarm calls from other jackdaws or ordinary contact calls with no threat meaning attached. Just that. One visit, one sound playing in the background. The next
Really?
time that same person walked past, the birds that had heard the alarm calls were already on edge. They returned to their
Really?
nests faster, stayed alert longer, and treated this person as a known quantity. The birds that had heard the neutral calls during that first visit showed no particular reaction at all. Same person, completely different threat assessment. They had never been harmed. They had never even seen this person do anything wrong. All they knew was what they'd heard from someone else, and that was enough to file the person away as dangerous. Permanently. Jackdaws can learn to identify dangerous people without ever having had a bad experience themselves. The warning does the work. The reputation travels ahead of you. You don't have
Okay.
to do anything to a jackdaw. You just have to have done something to one that knew others. So animals can identify a threat. But is that the same as
So if you
recognizing a
irritate
bad person?
one bird,
Here's
the
the
other
distinction that
birds will be
matters.
like,
A
dude,
lot
this
of what
guy
animals detect is
sucks.
fear,
Hate this
aggression,
guy.
or stress. Physiological signals that spike when someone means harm. Cortisol in sweat. Micro-expressions that flicker across the face in fractions of a second. Changes in breathing, posture, the way weight shifts before someone decides to act. Dogs process these signals faster than we do. Studies have shown they can smell the cortisol in human sweat with such precision that trained dogs can identify PTSD episodes before the person experiencing them is consciously aware one is starting. They're not reading
What
your
are these
soul.
dog faces, bro? These dog faces make me want to laugh so hard, bro. This cat, bro. My cat is very like, I want attention. Give me attention. Oh, okay. She's trying to climb up. Oh, nope, she failed. Okay. Oh no. What are you doing? She's back.
They're reading your body with instruments far more sensitive than anything we've built. But here's the problem with that explanation. It accounts for detecting fear and aggression. It doesn't fully account for detecting dishonesty. And
Okay.
that's where a 2021 study from Goldsmiths University in London changes the conversation. Researchers instructed owners to give their dogs a false signal, to point toward a container with no food in it. Dogs followed the signal the first time, but after being misled once, they stopped trusting the person who misled them. They ignored subsequent pointing altogether. The dog made a decision. This person's signals are unreliable.
That's
I'm going to
crazy.
stop listening. When a stranger, someone the dog had no prior relationship with, gave accurate signals, the dog followed them. Even in the same session, it was holding a grudge against that
Almost
person.
freaking fell
They caught
forward. What
someone
the heck are you
lying,
doing?
and they adjusted. This brings up a question that's harder to sit with.
You
If animals can detect deception,
no. You do
cortisol,
you thing.
aggression, and
You do you.
untrustworthiness, what does that mean for us? We evolved alongside these animals. We spent hundreds of thousands of years reading the same signals they did. Our brains are built on the same basic architecture. The
Okay.
amygdala that a dog uses to process threat is the same structure sitting in your skull right now,
That's
running the
actually
same threat
crazy.
detection software, just buried under several million years of prefrontal cortex telling it to calm down. We still feel it.
So there's parts of our that's actually
The
cool to think
stranger who
about.
gives you a bad feeling when nothing is visibly wrong. The room that shifts when someone walks in. The inexplicable discomfort around a person everyone else seems to like. We call it a hunch. We call it anxiety. We rationalize it away because we've been trained to demand explanations before we trust our own nervous systems. Animals haven't been trained to do that. They feel the signal and they act on it.
Yeah.
No second guessing. No social pressure to be polite. No overriding the read because it would be awkward to say out loud. There are limits to all of this, and they matter. Animals misfire. A dog raised around violence may react to anyone who raises their voice. A horse abused by a man with a beard may spook at every bearded stranger it meets.
Damn.
A crow doesn't know your intention. It knows your face and what happened the last time it saw it. These aren't moral philosophers. They're pattern recognition systems shaped by survival. Sometimes the pattern is wrong. Sometimes the person they distrust is harmless. Sometimes the person they trust is the problem. And yet, the cases where animals got it right are documented with enough consistency across enough species that researchers are no longer comfortable dismissing them. Service dogs alerting to seizures before they start. Therapy dogs refusing to enter a room where abuse had occurred. Elephants in sanctuaries who travel miles to greet humans they were once close to and who walk away from strangers without explanation. Paul Waldau, an anthrozoologist who has spent his career studying how humans and animals relate to one another, put it plainly, animals respond to what we are, not what we claim to be. We spend enormous energy managing the impression we make on other people. We dress for it, we talk for it, we build entire personalities designed to pass the audition. None of that works on a dog. The dog is watching something underneath the performance. The rhythm of your breathing, the chemicals leaving your skin, the way your body moves when you think no one is measuring you. And if something in that signal doesn't line up, the dog checks out. No argument entertained. Maybe that's what the old saying was always pointing at. That animals know. Not
I love this.
because they're magical. Not because they can see into your character the way a fortune teller claims to. But because they're paying attention to the version of you that exists before you decide what to show. The animal isn't doing anything remarkable. It's just paying attention. The remarkable thing is that we used to do the same.
What the fuck is this? Anyways.